Now, for episode 14, um, I was hoping I could do this area in 3 episodes, but it is pretty difficult doing it by yourself. So, if you ever do plan on getting Dark Souls 3 and you have some friends that you play video games with, I would definitely recommend playing with them because it'll make your experience so much easier. How many? Wow. I thought I would have more embers, but not really. If you want to farm for embers, I suggest, now that I got the white sign, soapstone, whatever, um, you can definitely put it down in front of a boss door. Somebody can summon you, you can help them out, and then you get an ember out of it. Or, if you're really feeling like it, you can just invade other people. However, I will say, if you do go the route of invading other people, expect to die. Because the people you invade might end up being good at the game. So, there's a few things that I want to do before I continue this area. One of the things I'm going to show you real quick, it's extremely useful, but before I do that, I'm going to return to Firelink Shrine, because I was actually planning on leveling up some of my weapons, and I totally and completely forgot about it. So, we're going to do that real quick. Now, I would like to level up my boss weapon a little bit more, but one of the things that I definitely don't like about Dark Souls is that using a great sword is so easy. If you know the timing of enemies and you know how to use a great sword well, you're going to be flying through this game. But if you use other weapons, to me personally, they're not as effective, but
Just wasn't he?
alright, we don't have any Titanite. We have Twinkling Titanite and a Titanite scale. I need 2 Titanite scales to upgrade my boss weapon. I have 4 Twinkling Titanite. This sword is actually pretty useful and does a lot of damage, so I think I want to save my Twinkling Titanite for some other weapons that I get, and I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Pretty, I don't. Just what?
I didn't mean to do
Pretty,
that.
I don't.
Alright, so just kidding about leveling up my weapon, guys. That was a total lie. Absolute fabrication. So the next thing is we're going to go back to the cleansing chapel. And we're going to talk to somebody. Hopefully he's there. That enemy that you notice walking around towards the beginning, if you don't notice him anymore there, then that means that the person is here. Nope, he's here, so that means he's not here yet. I think you have to get up to a certain point. So, we're going to take the shortcut. Oh well. There is a rather long way to get to one of the covenants that I'm going to show you. But there is a shortcut. However, you can't use a shortcut until after you take the long way, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Yeah, I definitely went the wrong way. Just kidding. It's definitely not the way I meant to go. I don't know why I came this way. Okay, so we're going this way. Now, you're gonna have to take the giants out, and it's not gonna be an easy fight. One of the giants is a little bit easier than the other, but we're just gonna have to deal with it as it comes. He's over there. We're gonna get this thing over here. Then we're gonna get this one over here. If you wait for him to do that, it's easy to get a backstab on him. And then we're gonna take this giant out first. I don't remember how many souls you get when you're going through New Game, but we are about to find out. Now, as you see, this is why this boss fight is so hard, because this area is filled with sludge, which means that you're not able to dodge that far. Now he's lifting up his other foot, doing very little damage to him right now. Alright, so basically his moveset is 2 stomps and then he throws some sludge around. So if you can avoid that, he should be pretty easy. But because of this whole fat rolling thing that I'm doing right now, it might be a little bit difficult. Alright, and then we gotta do this. Oh, and that little guy also dropped an item that I forgot to get, so that looks pretty majestic. And then we're gonna open up these doors, and you get a few items. I think it's an ember and a weapon. I personally don't use a weapon like at all, so I couldn't really tell you how well that weapon is, how good it scales, if it's useful or not. But I might test it out really quick to see how well it does. Alright, there's one of the items there, and the other item is going to be to your right. Now, one of the things that I do love about Dark Souls 3 versus Dark Souls 2 is that every area you see, you've been to. Like, that is the Undead Settlement, that is the High Wall of Lothric there, and on the other side of the High Wall of Lothric is the Firelink Shrine. And then over there is the next area that I'm going to go to, which is pretty difficult. And then I believe that's all you can see for now. In Dark Souls 2, that wasn't the case. You normally wouldn't see one level from another level. But one of the things that I did like about Dark Souls 2 is that the levels were really well hidden, which means discovering them was definitely not a challenge, but it made it more fun because you were surprised by what you came across in the game. I want to say that one of the levels here is not easy to discover if you don't know about it firsthand. One thing I will say though, every time you see a rope bridge, run to the other side, swing on it, and then see what happens next. You'll be pretty surprised. Now that I've cleared everybody out in this area, I'm going to go ahead and try and take out this invader real quick. And I'm not entirely sure if I want to... I'm going to have to go that way first, and then there's a shortcut up there that I want to get, but I really don't want to deal with that giant. So we're going to have to go here first. And then once you go here, you might notice an invasion pop up. Maybe? Is it the other side? I'm pretty sure it's this, I'm pretty sure it was the other side, but it might be this side, who knows? Nope, alright, I guess the game's calling me a liar. Oh, wait, there he is. So I guess it was that side over there. If you're embered, he invades you, but now that we've cleared everybody out, we should be good. As long as we're not going into that area over there where that knight is with the really annoying hammer, then we should be alright. Now, for most invaders, what I do is I keep people just within range for me to reach them, but not reach me. So, and I will show you why. Can I use it? No, I can't. So we'll go ahead and forget about that. Now, one of the things about his armor, Longfinger Kirk, is that when you're near him, he will do damage to you. And the damage is pretty small, but if somebody manages to bring your health down far enough, and you're like maybe a swing or two away, that's where his armor comes in. So, gonna heal real quick. You do get his armor later, and I'll show you when you get it. Alright, if the first area wasn't annoying, this area is even more annoying, and I'm going to tell you why. First, there's a giant. Second, there's these sludge things that attack you. Now, if you do pyromancy, now would be a great time for it to be useful, because you could just pyromancy the crap out of these things. But I am going to go ahead and use a little bit of this right here. Now, this doesn't last as long as the other one, so... Also, if you had fire arrows, it would definitely be really useful right now. I'm just gonna take each of them down to enough health to where they're not, or they're like one swing away. So I can go ahead and just kill them in one or two swings and should be alright. Now, I will say, the giant, when he does his stomp move, does kill them. But there's too much for you to fight him and avoid them at the same time. So once you thin down the herd, then you should be fine. So we're going to go ahead and initiate the fight, move. Now, I will say when he does that stomp move, if you're close enough, then you still will get some damage taken. Now, as you can see, these things are still attacking me while I'm fighting the giant, so... Well, he definitely killed some of them, so... God, these things are so annoying. Unfortunately, the giant isn't killing him fast enough, that's for sure. Now I'm just gonna switch weapons here really quickly. I don't recommend ever doing that while fighting something, but... Alrighty, so... Alrighty, that was beautiful. Well, I think he got all of them for now, so now you should be having to deal with them. You know, if they were to give the giant a command grab, that would have made him so much more difficult. I hope From Software isn't listening, because I ain't trying to fight him and dodge a command grab at the same time, you know? Alright, so... Mostly everything's dead. You do get pretty neat armor that I like to use. Large Titanite, definitely need that. Now this next area is going to be pretty difficult. And you'll see why in a second. And then we're just gonna grab this over here. Now, honestly, I think I'm just gonna run through everything here and unlock the shortcut. So that way, when I go the other way, I don't have to worry too much. Now, we're gonna run over here. We're gonna scoop around here. Get an item, ember. Embers are always useful. And then we're gonna run here, and we're gonna run in here, and this is where a shortcut is. Now you'll see why I'm getting this first and doing the next area later. And then we're gonna get this door. Now, the giants don't respawn, so once you kill them, they're dead for good, if you were wondering. So, nah, I'm sorry, scratch that. The giants actually do respawn, I believe. Okay, so you get to this point. If you see that raised, that means that there's something you gotta do. And is he on this side? Yes, he is. Fuck. Let's get this item first. Now that we've done everything, we're gonna go ahead and talk to him. You might notice something a little bit weird about him, the way he speaks.
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Katarina. I've managed to track down this cathedral's store of treasure. It's right over there, across that narrow part. Treasure? Always so close, yet so far. I'm in quite a pickle, indeed.
Now we'll definitely say in this area, don't spend your souls just yet, and I'm about to show you why. Yeah, I was totally running across that. I don't know why.
Shame on
my
you,
guys.
you greedy guts. Thought you could outwit an onion.
That's not.
Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
So that's not Siegward. I'm gonna show you where
Where's
Siegward
the old
at is
giant?
in a second.
What? Where's the bloody giant? Just what have you done? How dare you? Have you no shame?
I'm gonna deal with you in a
Damn.
second, good sir.
Damn, damn, and damn, damn, damn.
Alright, finally he shuts up. Okay, so, we're gonna go back to the cleansing chapel, and I'm going to show you something. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and complete this boss in this video, so this is definitely gonna take a lot longer, but that's fine. So you notice the guy that was over here that usually stabs himself and then lights himself on fire isn't here anymore. If you kill this guy real quick.
Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Anyone at all? Oh. I know that voice. Just how long has it been? It's me, Siegfried of Katarina. I'm loath to admit it, but I've been had.
Alright, I'm gonna have to skip his dialogue because I just got invaded, so I'm gonna run in here real quick so I can deal with the invader. Now, since I don't have anybody here, I might be able to get a, what's he called? Alright, so he's actually wearing the same armor that this guy had, which is why you see him doing some damage. This is actually a player, by the way, so... He also has a dagger that, interestingly enough... Oh, there we go. And there's a blue sentinel. Now this guy is really going to try and kill me before this guy shows up, so... Bro, I ain't trying to fight. Jump in. Get out of here. Do your job. Nope. Okay. Alright, that's beautiful. Alright, so blue sentinels are fucking useless. That's great. You know, it's times like these I feel like hopping on my other character and just
Merciful.
I might come back to this area on my other character. Alright, so now we're gonna go this way, finally. That little dagger that he had in his offhand, he actually parries with, so you want to be careful when you're swinging away. 2 hits stagger a player, anything beyond that he might be able to parry you, so you get 2 hits in, then you back off. And then you get 2 hits again, back off, and usually just do that strategy. But you gotta be careful because he relies heavily on poise with that armor, which means if both of you swing at the same time, you're not gonna stagger him. Alright, there's this little guy over here. And then over here, there's a guy with an axe. That's nice. Wow. Okay. Alright. I was a little trapped there. That guy with the axe is really annoying. Alright, back here. Yeah, sure, whatever. So far, I haven't lost any souls, as in I haven't died. Well, actually, I did at the very beginning of the game when I was fighting the crystal lizard and I was trying to come back and I died again. But other than that time, I haven't really died to the point where I couldn't get back to the souls to pick them up before I died, which is pretty good, so. Alright, he does have another one. And we're hit and we're good. I didn't realize that this little guy dropped something, so gonna go ahead and pick it up real quick. Alrighty, now for this guy, I'm gonna try and parry him. Nope, never mind, because there's a little guy over here. Did not see him. Now, that's the one thing I hate about this ring where it says you recover HP with successive attacks. You have to swing enough times, and if you don't swing enough times, you're not doing it. Usually you have to get more than 3 or 4 swings. Now, normally enemies die before the 3rd or 4th swing, so this is a crossbow. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up. There's a thrall behind me, so he's gonna hop down and try and attack me, but alright, I'm gonna just do some here real quick. There's another thrall over there. I'm gonna see if I can see him from here, and if I can shoot. No, wait, nope. He got pretty lucky, so we're gonna go down here. There's one thrall, then there's another one over here. I'm gonna wait for him to come up, pick up this item, kill this one. Now there's a few knights here that I really just don't fight. I just try to avoid them, to be honest. And then these things, could have swore I heard one. I I let them do all their animations because they end up just falling off. So, alright, now this guy really I just avoid because he is pretty good with that, get it, that great sword. Alright, he fell. Okay, great. And that's what I like to do. Since this is such a small area, it's easier to let them just run off and fall than actually try and fight you. So I'm actually going to go over here, and I'm going to... Oh, did he fall? So the guy's in my way. I definitely thought that one was going to hit. Alright, great, he fell. Alright, now for this last and final guy. Now, you don't really have to fight him. I don't think there's any more, Yep, he saw me. Definitely saw me. There's any more items up here, so you should be able to just run over there and then jump. Now I will say this. This guy has some pretty good aim. Pretty good aim. So try and stay out of his range of fire. So that way when you land, he doesn't shoot you. Because at one point he shot me and I fell off. Alright, now that we've gotten that, we're going to go ahead and kill this guy real quick. Now, when you run over here, these things drop. Some of them drop anyways. So we're going to bring this back up. We're going to talk to this guy. I'd love to kill him. You do get the opportunity to, but he does have some useful items, so I just keep him around.
Yes, I'm Patches. Unbreakable Pat. You seem to be unkindled. Do you have business? Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was my hand, as you know. Regrettable. And look at you. Not a scratch. All's well that ends well. Yes, we'll be fine. Yes. Now, just a little trinket. If you're...
He does sell Sigurd's armor, so that way you can buy it and then you can give it back to him. He also sells dark arrows, which are pretty good. And then this is good, sparing dagger. This I really don't use at all, to be honest. And then he sells the black fire bombs. So he will appear in Firelink Shrine. So
Thanks.
and then we are going to go up here. Now, a lot of those things do jump down. And we're going to kill this guy right here because you do get a pretty important item from it. Now, the red sign soapstone, unlike the white sign soapstone, you use... Alright, these guys are getting a little crazy. You use if you want somebody to summon you as an invader. And some people do drop their signs down. And other people do summon them because, believe it or not, there's actually some respectable, I want to say, fights around here. Now, if so far you've put points into attributes and you don't like what attributes you've put points into, this is the covenant where you respect your character. Also, this is the armor of the guy that you fought earlier. And then you talk to this lady over here. He has to join covenant, whatever. She gives you the Rosario's finger sigil signal, whatever. So that way you can, when you equip it and you invade other people, you invade as a finger, so. And then you can reallocate attributes, or you can change your appearance. Now, I have been doing good with my build so far, so I'm not going to do that just yet. You can only do it 5 times. So after 5 times, that's it, you're done. You can't respec your character anymore. And that's per playthrough. So if you go into New Game Plus, you get 5 more times. And then after that as well. So we're going to go back to Cleansing Chapel because I got to give Seaward back his armor that Patches stole off of him. And then after that, we are going to go ahead and take on the boss. And I might do a separate video of PvP because I'm feeling a little salty about that invader. I'm not gonna lie. I have to admit it, man. I hate it when people invade. Especially when it's like somebody who's just starting out and who's like new. It kind of sucks, man, to be honest.
I mean, maybe I confess. I've got to. Oh, my armor. My deepest gratitude. I, Siegfried of Catarina, salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, comrade. No need with my trust. Until...
Dark Souls logic. Completely probably naked in there, can't escape. Throw down some heavy ass armor, now he can't escape. Dark Souls logic at its best. So, now that we've done that, we're going to go back to the Rosaria's bedroom bonfire, or bed chamber, whatever. And now that I raise that lever, I can run across, hit the shortcut, and just go straight to the boss. And there is something that you do need to know about this boss as well in order not to waste your time. We're going to run past all these guys. I'm not really going to worry about the other wiggly ones, whatever. Alright, this is still up, which is good. Now, I've raised all of them at the same time to see if it does anything special. It really doesn't. I would say it probably blocks the giant, so it's probably the only use you get out of those walls, but other than that, that's about it. Okay, so now returning to the boss. Now there's a guy with a greatsword up there by where the boss is. I'm gonna try and run past him because those guys are pretty annoying to deal with. And we are going to use an Ember. Now the reason why I'm using an Ember for this boss is because there is another NPC with a storyline that I want to summon for this boss, so we're just gonna skip all these guys. See if I can fight this guy real quick. I just say keep running because he runs, goes back, runs, goes back, and it's like he's trying to decide what he wants to do, so run over here, wait for him to disappear, and then gonna go ahead and yep, he disappeared. Okay, so there's 2 people you can summon here. One, Henri of Astoria. If you've seen my earlier playthroughs, I've talked to her at the I don't remember which bonfire it was, but if you look at one of my earlier episodes, you do see her. So I'm gonna go ahead and summon her, and I'm going to also summon Horus here. Now the reason why I do that is because after you beat the boss, you do talk to her back at Firelink Shrine. So as you're fighting with her, I believe it continues her storyline. I think you can continue her storyline without summoning her here, but I'm all for using whatever the game uses or gives you in order to beat the game. So here's 2 NPC phantoms that you can use, and that's definitely what I'm going to do. Definitely make use. Now, is there any weapon I want to use here? No, I think I'm pretty well equipped for now. Let me see if the... Okay, so the Drang armor is definitely lighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and have that equipped. Any helmets that I want to wear? Not really. Alrighty. Okay. Now, you see all these people here? You don't have to hit all of them. Only hit the one that glows red. And try to avoid the other ones. When you hit the one that glows red, that's the one that does damage to the boss health bar, so... And you can't do magic in this area. If you do any form of magic, it actually heals the boss, I believe. That was pretty annoying because I had a magic build when I first took this boss on. Alright, where is it going to go next? I don't know. Don't let yourself get surrounded because they will all hit you at the same time, and if your health bar isn't large enough, you will die. Alrighty, I think there's one more. Nope, alright, so at this point the Pope himself comes out to greet you, so... Alright, that's awesome. I want to say there's a certain move that you want to do before this guy does his moveset. Now that I got him by himself. Now, there's too many enemies here to try and target. So if you have the directional pad selected when swinging, your character swings in that direction. And for certain bosses, that's definitely going to be useful. Alright, just a few more hits. Gonna go. Now you see him to start do that, rush in. If he's surrounded, I don't care, rush in. Because he doesn't move, where he basically just curses you instantly and kills you. Alright, and that was fan-freaking-tastic. So, that is the Cathedral of the Deep area. Now, you know, I do forget the crappy amount of souls that you get when you're in a new game, so that's a surprise. When you kill him and you rest, you definitely get his armor, Archdeacon. And we're gonna head back to Firelink Shrine. And then there she is, and there's Horus the Borosaurus over here.
Oh, and we meet again. We spoke before on the road of sacrifices. I'm well pleased to see you safe. We reached the Cathedral of the Deep, but Aldrich's coffin was at the man-eater must have left for his true the little doll in the empty coffin told me. Aldrich is said to hail from Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, an ancient fabled city. A pilgrim told me that the city lies beyond Farron Keep, and so becomes our destiny. Aldrich is honest, a pilgrim, and so becomes...
I will say Horus has a way with words, man. A way with words. Okay, so, we're also going to talk to this guy real quick.
Gaining admission. You've arrived.
And then, yeah, I think that's it. I'm
Welcome
just going to
to
level up here.
Very well, then take...
Let these souls withdrawn from their vessel.
Nope, can't level up anymore. That's fine.
Farewell, Ashmaid.
Now, Patches ends up here. All the way back here, so... If you want to get any of his items, you can. Oh, no, wait, nope, he's not here yet. Okay, that makes so much sense. He gets here eventually. I think I have to rest again or something like that. Alright, and with that being said, that is the end of this episode. If you like the information I gave you, if you like the spoilers I gave you for the boss fight and the strategy, because it's definitely important to know, go ahead and like and subscribe and support the Chanel, guys. Support the Chanel. I'll catch you guys later.